hospital. That's medical problems. But the hospital are willing to take all the money I want to give them. That's true. So anyway, that's the reason I haven't been here. And, I think I'm going to do another month of them, playing around with me. I should get better.
All right.
Well, we hope you will. That's great news. Sharon, second VP.
I had a sad thought, President Cheryl, fellow lines and guests. I don't know if you guys heard about the motorcycle accidents that happened over the weekend. One of them was my daughter's husband. He's in surgery right now. We're trying to save his leg. We've got a long road ahead of us, not just with the surgeries and stuff, but the financial too. Sarah has her own business and obviously no sick leave or anything, and driving back and forth to Portland every day. And so we just really could use some encouragement and good us.
Thank you.
No, you don't get some for.
Okay. Watch out.
Sword.
That's good.
I'm a trooper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was also half a day trooper.
what's it say?
Half council chair, and Cheryl's gonna cut you off, so make it short.
Oh.
President Cheryl was cut me off more than many women already. Fellow Lions and guests, I guess part of this is happy 10 and a sad 5. Our computer, 3 times I tried to start it. 4th time after I made it rest, to start it again. So there we go. Obviously, I'm so happy with my grandson up there. You probably all wonder what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's out doing my pre-doorbelling for my campaign. And I gotta tell you, when he volunteered, I said, well, I can feed you and give you a place to rest. I forgot to tell him he gets to play with the dog. Teddy greets him at about 40 miles an hour,
Yeah.
50 miles an hour. And in this process, I came up with a new cell phone. I don't know whose it might be. Does it look familiar to anybody?
Somebody loses cell phone with a. blue
Anybody
face?
looking with a blue cover on the back? I tried my code, it didn't work. Yeah, but got the second boat cleaned up this weekend in that beautiful sun. And you know, I'm looking around this group. Some of us we've known forever. I now know why Mike was a weird governor, because Terry trained him. That's right.
Right.
But I gotta tell you, Terry, when you want somebody on your side, past history Governor Terry is the person. We did a lot of stuff together as I was going through the chairs. But I guess I'm gonna keep this phone. I was trying to figure out how do I figure out whose it really is?
It's Maryland.
Oh, really, Marilyn?
You can't get onto it. You have to know the secret password.
I love Steve.
Well,
So,
no. Even ask you for a password.
honey, I'm done.
Thank you, we're done. Thank you very much, Mr. Excellent job. Okay, moving along here. I see Rick Johnson, get your bones up here, please.
Yeah.
You have some important people to introduce for us, please.
This is the real break.
Hey, first off, I'd like to thank everybody for being here.
Yeah.
I want to introduce Karen Simpson. She was a past member.
You better
and
come
she's,
back.
Well, that's always a possibility, but anyway, she was retired and basically I told her that she would need to go back to work. She's been the, the interim director of the Chamber of Commerce. And, she took that job in March. And now we have a new director, or a new executive director, permanent. So anyway, I'd like to introduce Karen Sisson.
So this is
Thank
a
you, Brett.
representative.
It's really nice to be back here. You guys all look amazing. Some of you haven't changed at all, but
I
don't remember the names as well as I used to, but it's really great to see you back, and to have me back. Thank you. So yeah, so for the last year, I've been filling in, when Phil Markham left as the CEO for the Chamber of Commerce. It's been a great year. The membership has been very open to having me be there, and I just really loved it. We have a great staff over there, the whole staff of 3 of us. And so, it's amazing the amount of work that the chamber puts out. And so we just we thank you for joining the chamber. We're excited to have you in our membership again, and we look forward to promoting your events and helping you grow your membership any way that we can. So I'm here to introduce Bonnie Delaney. She is from Rainier, Oregon, and became our official CEO on April 1st. And so I will let Bonnie tell you a little bit more about herself.
So everybody, what a fun group. So first, Hal is going to be driving my PowerPoints. Good luck. So if there's anything wrong, we'll just complain on.
Yeah, that's it. You know, we figured it out. You better join our club, Nick. You already figured that out.
Yeah. So I grew up in Vancouver, graduated from Hudson's Bay High School. It's okay to laugh at this picture, I promise. But the next one, because Facebook had it right. I know the next one. So I always like to start with a little little thing about myself. I'm a twin. I have an identically twin sister. Her name's Connie. But can you tell who's who?
Yeah, the one up there is you.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I'm the one, if you're looking at the picture on the left, and all of them except for the bottom one. Next one.
Cool.
So I grew up in a family business, where work was always expected, and we were reminded almost daily that labor laws did not pertain to family members. So this is the last picture with my grandmother. She died in 2000, but that is everybody who was involved in the family business at the time, all family.
Okay,
Next one.
don't worry. We'll
Next one,
eventually
okay.
get there.
Back Struggle Parts is my family business, started in 1936 in Chehalis. Next one. I ended up in Portland when my grandfather was drafted for World War II into the Kaiser shipyards. My grandparents were met in a logging camp.
Good.
And had no money, opened up this little tiny auto parts store that is the one in Portland. And didn't have any money to send back any of the inventory, so they boxed up all the inventory, moved to Portland. About a year into his war board duties, he went to them and petitioned to open up an auto parts store, and they allowed him out of his last year of work at the Kaiser yards in exchange for opening up an auto parts store in Portland. So this is our first location in Portland. We sold that building in probably 2010. At one point, well, after this picture was taken, we built a second story, which is where we house corporate offices, which is really where I grew up. Next one. So my grandfather passed away in 1969, before women were allowed to vote, own businesses, or have bank accounts, which left my grandma in a really weird position. Next one. So my grandmother was amazing. There's just really no short way to say it. She was the first woman in the state of Washington to graduate with a chemistry degree. Wow. Yeah, super cool. And she was a very well accomplished machinist, which was a avenue that women really weren't accepted in, but she now owned 3 auto parts stores when her husband passed, where she had no access to any of the bank accounts.
Wow.
The government froze everything. And her whole entire life was tied up into these auto parts stores and was left with the challenge on how do I keep these going? So she used all of her own personal savings, worked with the government for over a year, trying to get everything unfroze, couldn't do it, had to gift the business to her sons and her son-in-law because her daughter, my aunt, was not allowed to own the business at that point.
Wow.
So her husband ended up being her.
Wow.
So next one.
Yeah.
So we opened up a distribution center in the early 70s, and my role developed into the VP of Sales and Marketing. I did that for several decades. I managed all store activities. At one point, we had 40 retail stores in 4 DCs in Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and California. I handled all of the marketing activities, all the sales activities, and all the vendor relationships. Married my second husband in 2009. We have 7 kids between the 2 of us and 5 grandkids. Moved to Rainier from Vancouver in March of 2016. So I was commuting to Hillsborough. It was really just a shorter commute, which is hard to believe because it was 19 miles from Vancouver and 45 miles from Hillsborough, which way is quick. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and then my husband's a logger, so he was already working out of this area, so that worked. In October of 2018, we sold our distribution arm, which was Performance Warehouse, to a company called NPW. Myself and one of my cousins were part of the acquisition that forced my move away from the family business to another business,
Sure.
where I was their national marketing director. To the next one. The same year, my husband opened up his own trucking company where I really learned quickly. Having been in a business all of my life, I was used to regulatory, but there is no regulatory like trucking regulatory.
Oh, yeah.
And I still fight it today. So I spent 5 years as a national marketing director at NPW. We took that company from 75 million when they purchased my company. That took them from about a $25 million year company to a $75 million year company. Worked our fannies off for 5 years, grew to 350 million. Went from 25 locations to over 100. And then, like all huge growth like that, the consolidation process started, which is almost as hard as the purchase portion. 2 things are required for me for a job. It's gotta be fun, gotta have fun doing it, and I have to be able to positively affect the outcome. I got to the point where the ask outweighed the reward, so I exited that position in October of 23. Took a couple of months off, which I desperately needed by the time I resigned. I was working 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, was on the road probably, I'm gonna say 40 weeks a year, maybe, 35, a lot. So anyway, I just got to the point where it was too much for me. So I exited that. And that leads us to the chamber. So that's what we're really here to talk about. What's going on with the chamber? Our staff, as Karen already mentioned, are outstanding. I feel super lucky. It's the first time I've walked into a new position where the staff in play is at such high caliber. My role had always been kind of the cleanup mode. I was brought into a lot of situations to remove staff and clean up staff and take everybody to the next level. That is not the case here. These guys are great. Of course, Karen, we should take a moment and recognize Karen. Yeah. Yeah, I'm lucky to have Karen as my mentor in this position. She not only knows everybody, I don't know how that happens. She knows everybody, but is super familiar with the chamber and what it does. We have an extensive board. Next one. There's one. Yeah, so our ambassadors, we have one ambassador. Prior ambassador in the room, but the ambassadors are really the backbone to the chamber. They show up at every event. They'll be here for the ribbon cutting this afternoon, but they're really the staff that we don't have. They fill in all those gaps and we love them. Next one. So what's next? Membership growth is my #1 priority. We coming into this job. You're gonna see us be, I like to say, loud, proud in the community and work on growing membership. There's a lot of new businesses in the Cowlitz County area that don't know about the chamber or what it is we do or how we go about it. So next one. So why be a part of the chamber? My favorite thing to say is the chamber really represents the Franklin of the community. And the businesses in the community as well as the citizens, right? Our job is to bridge that gap. So everybody's involvement is super important. And of course, we're actively involved in the economic health of the community. We try really, really hard to be the voice of business with the regulatory entities and speak loud for the community. So yeah, as everybody knows, we're a nonprofit. All the money we raise goes back into the community. So scholarships, community projects, advocates for local businesses, business to business networking, business peer support, business best practices in education, And we like to believe we can influence the local regulatory. So what's coming up? This is cool. So if anybody is interested in what's going on in Cowlitz County judicial system, our quarterly meeting coming up this Thursday is going to highlight that. So it's, if you've never been involved with the judicial system, congratulations. But if you have, you know that this is really the backbone for the community. And so these speakers that are represented up here, Tom Adam, Judge Evans, and Lori are going to be telling us what's going on with the judicial system, as well as probably even more importantly, the lack of providers and what that's doing, the lack of attorneys, prosecutors, public defenders, and the impact it's having on the community and what that's going to look like going forward. So this would be worthy of attendance. Boot camps, we do them often, 3 sets a year. Our next one's starting next week. It's boardsmanship. So anybody in here that is involved in a committee or a board, the series for you, that's 6 weeks, super cheap. Karen, how much is it?
It's $100 for 4 people to attend for the all 6 weeks, so it works out to about $5 a person per class.
Thank you, Karen. Where am I at? We do a weekly radio show. It runs at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. Business after hours, we have one coming up tonight. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. Tonight's is at no charge if it's something you're interested in. I think registration is closed, so it'll be an at the door thing. It's at Umpqua Bank tonight. Then we have Island Bingo coming up. And that's fine, you're fine.
Yeah.
And our Galactic Fest, which is a new festival we're doing. It's going to mimic kind of what we have going on with Squatch, but it's about the aliens.
The aliens from Rainier?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There's a lot of aliens in Rainier, let me tell you. Most of them come from home people. So if you ever have any questions about what's going on with the chamber, as well as in the community, we keep a pretty extensive calendar on our website, as well as all the links to sign up for anything it is that we have going on our website, councillongviewchamber.org. So here's my closer. We're only as good as the business and our community partners. So we invite you all to get involved where it makes sense. Without you all, there would be no job for me. So I appreciate it. And of course, the chamber and the website. So any questions, comments, concerns?
So, would you like to know somebody else who started in Longview on April Fool's Day?
Sure.
Can anybody guess?
Together.
KBM Radio hired me and another young man on April 1st, 1974. So Bonnie, you are really in good company.
Well, thank you. And you did a fine job running the PowerPoint. I appreciate it.
It was financial, nobody just wanted to leave.
Yeah, that's it.
That way. It's like,
Quick question, now that we're joining the chamber, do you have any signage for us? Put up so people know we're a member of the chamber?
you betcha. It'll be part of your welcome packet. So yeah, we have some window things and. We appreciate you guys coming on the show. Are the brothers gonna tag team you today or something?
No, I was,
Where's my sister?
I was asking you if maybe she still gets discounts on auto parts.
Well, so interestingly enough, of course I do. I'm still an active owner. I still own 30 stores. And though I'm obviously not involved with the day-to-day of that, I'm still an owner. I still review the P&Ls. I still have board meetings. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the opportunity and what a fun group. I've done several of these. You guys are fun.
Yes.
No, good one. Thank you, Bonnie, and thank you, Karen, wherever you went. Oh, there she is. And I have for both of you for speaking to us today, our Longview Pioneers mug. Thank you. Put your favorite beverage into. And you'll notice inside there is a application. So Bonnie, we do have members that live in Rainier.
So.
And Karen, just in case you decide you might want to come back and rejoin us at some point in time, there are applications in there for both of you.
And you know a lot about us, it gets on our own works.
She probably knows where the bodies are buried. And as I understand it, there's going to be a ribbon cutting today for our new membership, and we'll do that just before the end of the meeting, before we adjourn. So getting on to the rest of our meeting, the business we need to take care of before we do that. Lion tamers, do you have any cards or anything back there? No, today there's no cards. Is there any, are there any reports from anyone that's spoken to or talked on the phone with or visited any of our sick people?
Not hell again. Yeah,
Hal?
I see people.
President Cheryl Bell-Lyons, yes, I've been talking with George Rader. A few of you may have realized he went back east for big family reunion. Well, he came back and he caught a cold. And then tested positive for COVID. Then got better, then got on jury duty. So we may see him next week. The texts I got for him were wonderful.
Some point in the future.
Yeah. What?
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and Best, I had a conversation with Marty, Barry Botero, and so I could just give an update. I mean, Matt has now completed his treatments, but there's 2 weeks of recovery. So I suppose to get chemo out of his system and whatnot. And it was a good conversation. I think I talked more than I should have.
Anybody else have any news about those of us who are not here today? Okay, Marilyn, since you're still close, we'll segue right. Rick has something.
King and Cheryl, fellow Lansing guest. I went to Jack Patton's house this last week to drop off our generator. The other end is, his wife had a stroke.
Oh, no.
She's had several strokes. And, she's at home now. And anyway, David is working on her generator.
Yeah. Yeah. I have an updated David Hammond.
Please keep her in your prayers, and your thoughts. Now, Marilyn, let's just segue right into our announcement.
Okay, President Cheryl, fellow Lions and Guests, just want to remind you, next Tuesday, we have Scholarship Day. We have some of our high school. On Wednesday, May 22nd, 1:40 to 5 p.m. I did talk Steve into it, so he is going to be not very long. Thank you, Steve. And the advisor really wanted to thank us for participating. Just a reminder, convention call for May 23rd, 25th. Tomorrow is the deadline for ordering food. And then most importantly, tomorrow morning at 9:30, maybe come at 9:15, for those of you that have signed up for our work party with the school gardens. It's at North Lake Elementary School Gardens tomorrow morning. I've got a list here. I'll probably send out a reminder. Thank you, Cheryl.
And next week, on the 21st, is our
What is that one?
scholarship luncheon.
Right.
They're on for then, yeah.
Yes, the luncheon. I did that. Is it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Looking at my notes instead of listening to you, sorry. Got caught. Okay.
Rookie.
All right, over on the side table, don't forget the Council Lions Berry sale is still on, if anybody's interested in that, the order form is over there. And there's also a sign up going around somewhere for the installation dinner on June 28th. $30 a person. Pay as soon as you can, but be sure to sign up, whatever. It's gonna be awesome. Oh, and well, there'll be more reminders about that later.
Yes, this is, I've asked Carrie Ann to take this task on, she's gonna collect the money,
Okay.
So you can pay it cash, you can write a check to the Longview Fire Alliance, and that's the only way.
That's a little self-protective move you made there.
There it is.
There it is. That's right. Okay. Cindy Sessions, I think you had something you wanted to share with us?
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, we're gonna do a committee for the installation dinner over here, because right now there's just a few of us. So if you'd like to join in on the fun of planning the installation dinner, please join me over here.
And don't forget that installation dinner will be at the Longview Moose Lodge on June 28th. Social, it starts at 5:30, dinner about 6, I think. So, okay, and I think it's, heard a rumor that it's like Hawaiian or something. Yum, teriyaki chicken and stuff like that, yay. All right,
They got great fried mince.
Lion Terry Woodruff, another Terry in the house today, has a couple of things for us.
Try again, Terry.
Just on?
Oh,
Sorry,
There you go.
my usual high voice. Anyway, people are always losing stuff, so.
Board members are fine.
We, for the awards committee, for last month, we finally got enough people here that will collect awards for them. So for the month of, which month was it? March 2024, the unsung line of the month, unsung, that should be the line of, sorry. Darlene Monson for all the work she did.
Oh, well, deserved.
The other thing, you say, is that the awards committee every year puts together nominations for people to be Lion of the Year, Unsung Lion of the Year, and Rookie of the Year. And we'd like to tell you who those people are that were nominated. For Rookie of the Year, Jay Pruitt.
Nomination?
David Hammond, who's not here
He'll
today.
be here next week.
Well, now, you know.
Mhm.
And Eric Culberson.
Hey, Eric, I don't know about Eric.
Song is Ann Camarda.
He's not here.
Well, Lloyd Wayne's still.
Yeah, Lloyd Williams is still here.
And Cindy Ward.
Ooh, Cindy.
And then the Lion of the Year, Bob Piper.
Woohoo.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Katie Dillinger.
What?
And Darlene Monty.
Oh.
The board voted on this, last week. They'll hand out the awards sometime in the future. It doesn't matter when.
And you don't get to know until then.
Right. Congratulations. to
But we
everybody.
will probably announce the winners at the installation dinner, so make sure you plan to sign up and be there.
Especially if you're
You're
nominated.
gonna wanna know who's in, but everybody
What?
on that.
Can't go.
All of you are winners. Not everybody can actually go home with a plaque, but you're all winners. Okay. Tickets, yes. So, blue ticket, 50/50 drawing. You feel lucky? Well, do ya? Okay, 934. 934-050. Oh, it's Mr. Firth, and Firth, don't listen to what people say about you. You'll always be Firth in my book.
Oh, good job.
That's not. Oh, there you
Like, I'm here.
Okay, so Greg's gonna maybe pick a winner. Let's see.
I doubt it.
Good luck, Greg. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's a jack, but. not the right jack. Okay, not a joker jack. Okay. All right, so the joker lives. And on we go. Red ticket. Donation fund. 759542. Okay, Terry. Where would you like whatever funds are in that bucket? White cane.
Hey.
Good, excellent choice. Good pick. Thank you, Terry. Okay, and Darlene? You're kind of by yourself there. Your compadre is not with you today. Yes, you did. Okay.
President Cheryl Caroline's guests winning for the desserts they are Katie and Shirley.
Katie and Shirley. Okay, Katie. So I'll call it in three. Three for this week. Okay.
Okay, you're sweet.
Before we do our ribbon cutting, let me tell you a little joke. So you can start the ribbon cutting and then the picture, hopefully, with your yellow jackets or your blue jackets, or your year, whatever you have today. Before we do that, let me tell you about a tough old cowboy from Texas. He counseled his granddaughter that if she wanted to live a long life, the secret was to sprinkle a pinch of gunpowder on her oatmeal every morning. The granddaughter did this religiously until the age of 103, when she died. She left behind 14 children, 30 grandchildren, 45 great-grandchildren, 25 great-great-grandchildren, and a 40-foot hole where the crematorium used to be. Okay.
Oh.
So I think we are ready for whatever we're gonna do about this business of ribbon cutting, but the ambassadors aren't here quite yet. We're a little bit early. So talk amongst yourselves. And we will, are those yours? Well, talk about timing. Okay. That.